We discovered a cause and effect relationship where these greenhouse gases cause the planet to warm. But what if we want to discover more things as scientists? Scientists use the practice of asking questions to inspire their discoveries, and we want to know, how do we ask better scientific questions? We walk students through a short presentation with strategies for crafting effective questions, including some examples. Students combine their skill at the practice of asking questions with analyzing data. Each student becomes an expert in one of these graphs and then formulates a series of scientific questions based on what they see. And then, in lesson 15, we start by having them share their graph and questions with a group of other students who saw different graphs. We keep practicing asking questions by identifying the scientific questions from examples and discussing how to revise the ones that are less scientific. One of the questions we sometimes have about the effects that we've been seeing is, how much is the cause natural versus by humans, or anthropogenic? We'll look at that more later, but it's time now for our first unit checkpoint, a set of conceptual questions about the lessons so far. Because a lot of these are tricky and sometimes you can make a case for multiple correct answers, we're going to answer them in groups and as a class. For the next few lessons, we're going to be using this phenomenon about different activities affecting the size of a person's carbon footprint to frame our lessons. We return to the carbon command game and focus in on atmospheric CO2. As the students play the game again, we ask them to focus on what activities are causing CO2 to change. Many of the activities are anthropogenic. People cause them. And as people, we therefore have a responsibility for a certain amount of carbon in the atmosphere, our carbon footprint. We get to watch my favorite Green Ninja video, Footprint Renovation, and discuss all the details that we notice. We then dig into the different categories of carbon footprint with a short presentation. We begin day 17 with another short presentation with more details about how we can reduce our carbon footprint. And then we brainstorm all the contributions to our own personal carbon footprint. But our goal for the day is to address the question, how can I convince others to reduce their carbon footprints? We spend the rest of the day crafting public service announcement posters. We might need to finish these as homework so that we can share out in a gallery walk next lesson. But also, we have another homework assignment. We want our students to bring in materials from home for an investigation that we'll do tomorrow. They can bring in small pieces of cardboard, plastic, styrofoam, bubble wrap, or fabric. And that's because up next is insulation.